Hi guys, so another beginner level class today, but actually it's quite a nice one to do for a lot of all sorts of different levels because we're really tuning into the intuitive side of our movement. So get ready with your mat and also grab some cushions and things as well if you need them. It's always useful to have them there. If you don't need them, that's fine, but if you do, then you've got them. And maybe a couple of blocks if you've got those handy too. So just coming onto your mat in a wide leg child pose. So toes are together, sitting on your heels and your knees are wide. If you have any knee problems, you can put a cushion or two underneath your bottom into the knee, back of the knee joint, so that it gives a bit more space for the knees, make it more comfortable. And then you're just going to walk the hands slowly down onto the mat and relax and melt the chest down to the mat. If it's uncomfortable that low, here you can grab your blocks and rest your forehead on the blocks, okay? Or you can even do a supported child's pose if you struggle here with cushions underneath you. And just start to take your focus inwards. Notice how the body feels. Notice if there's any tension or tightness. And just see if you can, with every exhale, start to release to the earth. Let go of something that you might be holding on to. Relax the forehead, soften the eyes, release through the hips, soften the shoulders. And start to create a steady breath through the nose, if possible. If not, then the mouth. And use this opportunity while you're lying in this position to breathe through the back body and the side chest. So in this supported kind of position, it's easier to bring air into those parts of the lungs, the sides and the back. Okay, place your forearms on the floor in front of you at shoulder distance apart and make sure the arms are parallel so the elbows are not splaying out if you can. And start to move slowly as you can up onto your knees and your toes tucked. And maybe just start to sway side to side with the hips. And then we're going to start to move the hips in different ways. So make this be playful and intuitive. So maybe you can tuck the coccyx under, pulling the belly in, rounding the back, or maybe you can drop the belly and the shoulders, bringing the heart forwards. Maybe you can make circles or semicircles one way and then the other. And really focus, bring your attention to your pelvis. This is great to bring the energy here for all sorts of menstrual issues and to connect with that part of your body. Maybe take the hips to one side, stretching through the side. Maybe stretch through the other side. And then just walk your hands out in front. Again, you can use a block if you need to. Make sure knees are underneath hips and toes are tucked or flat on the ground, whichever you prefer. And you're just going to slowly and very gently melt the chest down towards the floor. Rest your forehead on the ground or on a block. And just feel the opening through the shoulders and the chest. Take about 5 breaths there, and then when you're ready, start to walk the hands up and come to sit back on the heels. Knees slightly apart, and you're just going to interlink your fingers and then push the palms of the hands away from you with an exhale. So when you're interlinking the fingers, take a big inhale and exhale. Push the palms away. Inhale, bring the palms back towards you. Drop the shoulders and push on your exhale, push the hands away. One more time. And exhale. Release the hands. Lightly take your fingertips down to your side to touch the floor. So you're not leaning over. So keep your spine pulling up out of the pelvis, lengthening through the spine. Draw the lower belly slightly in. You can put your hand there if you want to, just to gauge what we're activating. So you want the muscles right at the bottom of your belly to just slightly contract and draw in. As you inhale, raise the left arm up to the sky, and exhale, lengthen over to the right. If you're more comfortable, you can place the hand on the top of the head. And we just want to stay here for a few breaths, opening into the side chest. Try to breathe through the left side chest and still lifting up out of the right side waist. If you're able, when you're trying to keep the left side chest open, try to also keep the elbow open a little bit. But not so much that it causes tension in the neck. If you start to get tense in the neck, across the back of the neck, slightly bring the elbow forwards. One more breath. Inhale, come up to center. Sprinkle the left fingertips down to the floor. And inhale, lengthen up through the spine, stretch and open the right side. As you exhale, extend and lengthen over to the left. Again, either keep the arm lifted or drop the hand onto the top of the head and just drop the neck and the shoulder, the lifted shoulder. The other shoulder should also be dropping down. And as you open into that right side, just breathe. Don't create any tension around it. If breathing is a problem for you, or a challenge, just keep it easy, no pressure. One more breath. And exhale, come to center and release. Inhale, roll the shoulders up, and exhale them back and down. Inhale, isolate the shoulder joint as they come up to the ears, and exhale, roll them back and down. One more time, inhale, shoulders up, exhale, back and down. Sprinkle your fingertips behind you, rolling the shoulders back, so the movement is a rolling back of the shoulders so the heart can lift. Take a nice big inhale while you're still soft. And then as you exhale, push your fingertips to the floor, open the shoulders and lift the heart. Inhale, soften. Bring the air into the chest, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart as you exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale, lift the heart, open the shoulders, the front of the chest, and release. Okay, so place your hands down in front of you and tuck your toes. And we're just going to push into a yogi squat here for a moment. So feet are wider than hip distance and slightly pointing out, same direction as your knee. And you're just going to rock from heel to heel. Arms are soft, upper body is soft. You're just working into the hips with the breath. Inhale one way, exhale the other. And we're just going to work into the hips a little bit. So place the heel down if you can. If not, you can either place cushions underneath your heel or roll up your mat. You can either, if you're further forwards, you can roll the mat up underneath your heels. So whichever way works for you. And we're just going to gently get into the hips here. So take the back of the right arm inside the right knee or thigh. And then just take the other knee, the left knee with the left hand. And with the breath, just start to open, gently pushing open the knee and the hip. Always, always, always keep your focus on the breath. So the breath leads the movement. We follow the breath. With the breath, you want nice, long, steady breaths if you can through the nose. Don't worry if your breathing is more a struggle for you, just go with it. We don't want it to create any tension around the breath, really. We're wanting more the opposite, which is to surrender to the breath. which I know is a struggle when you have lung problems. I've been there, so just take it, be kind to yourself. Okay, swap over, put the back of the arm, the left arm inside the left knee or thigh, and then take the right hand to the right knee and just gently push it open with the breath. So inhale, bring the knee in. Exhale, push the knee out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And just work to your breath pattern and rhythm. See if you can get a nice stretch through the hip and the groin. Okay, and then we're going to walk the hands up to the front of the mat and slowly start to lift the hips and lift the bottom to the sky and bring the feet a little bit closer together, hip distance apart, and we're just going to get deep into our downward facing dog. This is downward facing dog posture. But we're going to go into it easy, move into it more naturally, rather than going straight into the pose. So bending deep into the knees, pushing your hands through the floor. And then bring the knees to face forwards, the front of the mat. And then just walk out the heels. So one heel down and bending into the knee, and then the other. If you get tired quickly in this posture, it's quite normal for beginners, so just drop the knees down and take a little child's pose for a few moments, and then come back up when you're ready. It takes time to build the strength. So just walk into the heels a little bit, and then we'll just hold it for a couple of breaths more in the proper full expression of the pose. So drop the head down, knees are slightly bent, heels are towards the floor, but don't worry if they don't reach. Okay. And then we're going to slowly walk up the mat. Keep breathing. And when you reach the top of your mat, just hang down in a ragdoll. So feet are hip distance apart, toes are nice and lifted and spread them on the ground. And then bend into the thighs and hang down. Maybe just sway side to side. And if you're not comfortable hanging down that low, then you can always just rest your elbows above your knees and hang down like that. Okay, so we're going to inhale, we're going to do a halfway lift. So with your hands to your shins, if that is your level of flexibility, or fingertips to the floor, but I prefer as beginners to start with your hands on your shins. So you're going to inhale slowly, lengthen the spine forwards and the back of the neck, bring the weight into the front of the feet slightly more than the back. Shoulders are back, and fully inflate the chest as much as you're able to. And then as you exhale, elbows come out to the sides and fold down. Empty the lungs. As you start to inhale again, lengthen the spine forwards, the back of the neck, draw the lower belly in. So we do what we call magnetising the front body to the back body. So the front body slightly draws up, you contract it slightly to draw to the back body or the spine. And as you exhale, elbows out to the sides and fold forwards. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen the spine, shoulders back, lengthen the back of the neck. Fill the chest, and then as you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, this time we're going to rise all the way up and come to Tadasana. Tadasana is mountain pose. So it seems like a very unimportant basic pose, but actually there's plenty involved in this standing simple posture. So feet are hip distance apart, lift all your toes and then spread them back down on the ground. Slightly pull up the thighs, making them slightly active, and make sure your pelvis is level. So your pelvis is like a bowl, and again you don't want to tip it forwards or backwards. So make sure the pelvis is level. Draw in the lower belly and draw everything in towards the midline. So the midline is the imaginary line that goes through your body, the centre of your body. So you want to draw your core into that midline. Shoulders are soft and down, and chest is open. So we're not forcing, but there's a feeling of openness across the chest. Even if you just have to imagine that, if you haven't got good lungs and you need to just imagine that, that's okay too. So it's the sensation of having a clear, open chest. Palms are slightly out to the sky, and just gaze forwards. And I want you to imagine and feel that you are standing very much in your own energy, in your own space, and fill your energy field around you with your breath. And ultimately, that is filling your energy field with your energy. Take a few breaths here, 3 to 5 breaths. Okay, this time as we inhale, we're going to raise the arms up to the sky. Really lift through the body, lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, bend deep into the knees and take the arms back behind you. Inhale, rise up, lift the heart, and exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift, spread the fingers wide, draw in the energy, exhale, back and down. And then we're going to a chair pose. So this time, next time you inhale, you're going to stay with your knees deep and bent, your legs earthy, thighs on fire. Couple of breaths, and then exhale, back and down. One more. Inhale, keep the legs bent. Draw the belly in, arms are extended. And exhale, back and down. Take your hands to the floor. And you're going to put the weight into the left foot, lift the right, and extend the right leg out behind you, pushing through the heel. And then slowly as you can, keep the weight into the legs if possible. The hands are just there for stability at the moment. Slowly lower the right foot down to the back of the mat. Inhale, and then as you exhale, lift the left foot and slowly step it back into a high plank. Take a couple of breaths. Drop the knees. And slowly drawing the elbows into your side, lower yourself as slowly as you can down to the mat. Okay. Place your elbows underneath your shoulders and spread your fingers wide in front of you. Extend your legs behind you with feet slightly apart and take all the tops of the toes onto the floor, including the little toes. So your inner thighs will feel as if they're turning towards the sky. And this will automatically release and create space in your lower back, okay? So take a big inhale, shoulders back and down, but keep it soft as you inhale to get the breath in. And then as you exhale, pull against your mat, pull back against your mat with your hands and your forearms so that you can bring the heart forwards. Inhale, soften, allow the breath in, exhale, drag your forearms and hands back on the mat to bring the heart forwards and open across the chest. One more time, inhale and exhale. Okay, just put one hand on top of the other and place your forehead down in your hands and completely use this moment to release everything you need to. So maybe take a couple of big breaths in through the nose and exhale with a big sigh. And when you sigh, really allow yourself to let go. Do one more for luck. Okay, lift the head. Place your hands, fingers spread wide underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, and then use your arms, activate your arms and shoulders to push yourself back. And we're going to lift the knees just to go into downward dog for a couple of breaths, 2 breaths. Have a slight bend in the knee, heels towards the floor, pushing through the earth with your hands, drop the head. And then inhaling, look forwards, step or jump forward, cross the legs and sit down. Make a loose, long diamond shape with your legs and take the front of the knees. Take the feet hip distance apart or a little bit apart. Take a big inhale, lengthen through the spine, draw the lower belly in. And exhale, pull on the fronts of the knees to lift the heart. Inhale. And then exhaling, round through the back and extend across the back of the shoulders, rounding the back like a cat. Inhale, drop the knees out to the sides, lift the heart and pulling on the front of the knees gently. And exhaling, bring the knees up and round through the back, stretching across the back and the shoulders. And empty the lungs. Inhale, lift the heart, drop the knees open, and exhale, bring the knees back up to the sky, round through the back, and stretch across the back of the shoulders. Inhale now, up, extend through the spine, lengthen the arms forwards, gently, palms to the sky. Draw the belly into the midline, so that's that midline, imaginary line through the body that you draw in towards. and slowly lower down to the earth. Inhale and lift the feet off the floor, making the shins parallel with your mat. And then as you exhale with control, using your core, slowly, really tune into your core, activate the core to take the knees over to the right side. Gently stretching and opening and lifting through the spine, twisting into the spine. I get a few clunks in mind when I go into a twist. First of all, inhale with control, lift up to center. Exhale, lower the legs down to the left. Surrender in your spine. Surrender to the twist. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, legs over to the right. So just keep this flowing in this way with your breath. Inhale up to center and exhaling down to the side. So keep it dynamic, really tuning in, drawing in your core to your midline. The imaginary line through the center of the body. Draw and pull in the core into that center space. Last one, inhale to center. Drop the feet down to the floor. Make sure that you can reach them with your fingers. Feet parallel, hip distance apart, knees parallel, so not splaying out. So use the muscles gently in your thighs to magnetize them together. Imagine you've got a squishy ball between your thighs. And we're going to just gently open up into the back and the chest a little. So inhaling, start to draw and lift with your very bottom tummy muscles, lift the pubis. And then keep going, lifting the pelvis. Slowly, slowly, slowly with your inhale, using your buttocks, squeezing them together. Not too hard, you want to still keep softness in the lower back, openness in the lower back. Activating the thighs. And then as you exhale, slowly, one vertebra at a time, roll the spine back down to the ground. Inhaling, lift the coccyx, lift the pelvis. Come onto the backs on the tops of the shoulders, lengthening the back of the neck to protect the neck, put the weight into the shoulders. And exhaling, slowly roll back down. If you struggle with the length of breath, so if your breaths are quite quick and shorter, don't worry, you can do maybe a couple of breaths while you're up in your bridge. And then slowly always come down in your exhale though. And lifting up on the inhale. So just move with your breath. Maybe feel a little bit of burn in the thighs. It's good. Working them. Maybe underneath here, underneath the bum. Okay. On your next exhale, release to the floor. And just put your knees together and your feet out. Arms out to the side, palms to the sky again. And just take a couple of breaths, just surrender to the floor, feel and process the movements. Let the spine resettle. And then take the knees apart and slowly as you can, at the same time, push your feet away from you, extending out. Push with strong legs, push through your heels as strong as you can, and then as you exhale, release and let your legs, your hips and your feet drop out to the sides. Inhale, lift the center of your chest, so the back of the chest is coming off the floor and your shoulders are staying on the floor. So really open and expand the chest in all directions, and then as you exhale, melt the back of the heart to the floor. Length through the back of the neck, soften the eyes, soften the jaw, let your jaw slightly drop. And release and surrender yourself to the earth. Let your breath settle and relax. And if you're not comfortable lying on your back for any reason, if you have back problems or chest problems, lots of coughing if you lie on your back, then just alter the posture to what you need. So you can either lie on your side in fetal position, or you can come into a supported child's pose. So come into your child pose, toes together, knees slightly wide, and then bolster up and put maybe 4 or 5 cushions, depending how thick your cushions are. Put some cushions underneath here so that you can lay your chest over the top and drape your arms down and support all the front of your body and your chest. It's an amazing pose if you have chest problems. And just take your relaxation in whatever position you need and breathe softly, naturally, and try as much as possible to surrender yourself. And stay there for at least 3, 5, 10 minutes.